Hi there, this is my preview for the new, improved loveliness that is the Planet Eclipse EMF200. To begin with, Planet were kind enough to send me this for testing, doing some chronographing and a bit of gameplay for you, which I will show in this video. So thank you very much to Jack and the team for being so kind. So we'll kick this off with some gameplay that I recently played with the EMF200 and the new CF20 Pro magazines, and I'll catch you here in a bit.
Oh, I missed him by a whisker. He's gone. Yeah, I see him. He's gone.
Right's gone.
Does that sound as cool to you as it does to me? Dave's moved, I can't see him on the left anymore, which is really scary.
You can get him from the top, mate, because the roof's come off.
He's peeking the right.
I've got the inside. This right hand corner of the building. I think Dave's getting ready to move.
Oh, please say I got him. What crate? Oh, you're there. Oh, crumbs. He's trying to bait me. Jeez. Woo. Oh, head. I think that's me done. Hit. Did I get you as well? Ah.
Okay, so from the point of view of the gameplay, you could see that using first strikes, very, very accurate indeed. I spent a lot of time zeroing the scope and making sure that it was proper on target each and every time. But as we're talking about chronographs, I've got some footage of a couple of mags to show you the general averages of the chronograph and just to see how accurate it is on the range. So we'll go and have a look at that now. Hello. Got my target set up here. See my nice little bipod. Both the cameras attached to here and here. Got a flip up scope protector should I need it. I've done some zeroing. Current zero distance is 26 yards. With the crossbow scope, aiming dead center of the target. 286. 289. 286. 291. 288. 290. 286. 288. 291. 287. 288. 286. 289. 287. That needs to come to the right slightly. So this is my fourth mag of the day. Let's have a look. Center of the target. 286. 290. 286. 288. 283. 281. 278. 280. 286. 275. 281. 276. 286. 287. 288. 285. 288. 277. 287. 290. And that's the mag done. I am a very happy boy with that. So much like the EMF100, the chronographing averages are really consistent, and I expect nothing less. So I was really pleased with that. It's carrying on the tradition, and with that we'll go and have a look at what the teardown looks like of the marker for the very first time, which we shall see together. Okay, so this is the first time I'm going to take this marker apart. It didn't come with this rail, or this rail, but everything else it came with. And this is the first time taking it apart since using it at a game last Sunday. So we shall have a look. and see what we have. This is what it looks like. Both sides. Okay, so we'll start with the rail. Hopefully you can see this, all right? I have taken this rail off before because obviously I had to get access to the screws to put the extra rails on for cameras and accessories. So once they become slightly loose, like that, then it simply just slides off. Like that. Now if you turn it upside down, these two screws will come out. However, in the final release, these screws will be fixed, so we won't lose them. As well as the screws. And here is the the bit, that's what screws onto there, and then the rail screws will then screw into that. Okay. Start with the barrel. So this is the S63 tactical barrel, which will come with it, I believe. At the moment, there's a first strike rifled insert inside. However, again, when the marker ships, it will actually come with a black .689 S63 barrel insert. So it kind of matches the sleek sexiness of the overall EMF200. And obviously the tactical barrel is three parts. Like that. Okay. Right. It's getting pretty small. So now on top of here, we have the little screw that has a lock symbol there. So righty tighty, lefty loosey, doesn't take much. That. Then the money shot, ooh. Just like that. Okay, and this is the new OPR core from the new 180R marker. It looks very shiny, less blue. And I'm imagining it unscrews from here. Just like that. Okay. Obviously I haven't cleaned this since I last used it. Wanted it to be a first time for me as well as you. Nice and shiny. Okay. My mistake. Sorry, this is going to be painful to watch. Ah, there you go. There's the body. Lovely. Here's a trigger frame. The safety. On and off. It's worth mentioning too that not only can you use the new CF20 Pro magazines on your current EMF100, but I think if you'd like to use your EMF100 magazines, as many of us already have a stockpile of those, you'll be able to change the mag release with the included alternative allowing you to use both old and new magazines on this EMF200. I know this piece here, the trigger guard, is going to be replaceable with milspec ones. You've got also the 2 trigger adjustment screws in here, but you need a teensy weensy little Allen key for there and there. And then on the bottom of the grip, I've got another little Allen key. Now I'm not sure if ECLIPSE are going to provide an Allen key as part of their set to get this Allen key out, because this is quite a pain in the bum actually. Okay. So if you're planning on removing this screw, I think it's either going to be really fiddly or you just need a bit of a longer Allen key. But for now, I'm not going to faff around with that. Yeah, so considering given how big the marker looks and feels when it's all put together, it strips down really nicely. It's really simple inside. It's just so simple. Obviously you got the detent covers here. Don't bother taking them off, that's self-explanatory. It's just so... I don't know, it's just really easy. What's that bit for? Got a couple of screws here. Okay, so this is a... something. Feels like opening a Christmas present, you don't know where it goes. Okay, so what's this bit for? Oh, I see, okay. Cool, so that's that bit there. I'm not an overly techie person, but it's always good to know where things go when you want to open them. Okay, so we'll put this back together and we'll see, have a look at the bolt. Like that. Okay, so let's put that to one side. So we'll look at the pops on and off. I love these bits, it's just so handy to have. Your chrono adjustment is here, clearly marked. There. So this is all your O-rings, all your fanciness. Easy to access, easy to clean. Got a bit of dirt on mine, I've been firing lots of first strikes to it. Won't go any further because I don't think there's any need, but yeah, looks very similar, very, very similar. If you're used to opening up any Eclipse marker, really, it's you kind of know you're in for simplicity and just ease of use, to be honest. Again, everything just hand tight. Just lower that. And then we shall, with this bit, what I do is I just slide them in first. I think this is the only way you can do it, actually. Unless anybody wants to tell me otherwise. Slide those screws in first. Put my first strike barrel back in. Opposite threads. Obviously this S63 barrel is compatible with all the other S63 inserts. And obviously the front muzzle brake is also changeable for all your rain covers, or if you want to look more aggressive, you can get something spiky, or, you know, the world is your oyster in terms of look. Obviously, it's my understanding that the handrail, the mag release, the trigger guard, and the safety selector switch are all milspec. So any kind of AR basic sized components will work with this. I'll show you how the bottle goes on now. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to screw the bottle on first. Like that. So you screw the bottle on first, and then you can determine where you would like this part to sit. When you're happy with where that goes, it goes on like that, and then it slides in here, pull this bit down, and you can determine what length you want. Nice and sturdy. And there we go. And then to turn the gas on. So that's now aired up. Safety's on. Doesn't fire. Safety off. Fires. And the most satisfying part of the day at the end. Ooh, purged. And ready to go. Okay. So I believe there's two new features on these improved magazines. Firstly being the winder now runs on ball bearings. So that'll mean that the winder cable will now feed a lot more smoothly. Follower. that to close the door. That allows us access. Now the way these open is slightly changed. They open from the bottom. No kind of screw or catch or anything like that. Simply pull it open, load your rounds. Very similar design. In fact, I've got the magazine here. Very similar to design to the original CF20 magazines. Another new feature is this U-shaped bottom track now being polished aluminium. I think that's to reduce the friction on the fins of the first strike, which is a much welcome change for us first strike users. That goes in there. That goes in there. It's closed. That pushes up to the top. Make sure it's pushed down. Clip. Done. Another feature is you'll notice there's a number 1 and a number 2. So number 1 is for the initial engagement of the mag. Can't come out, can't go anywhere, but the spring is not engaged, which I thought was actually rather cool because it means that I don't have to carry my chrono mag around with me with the spring engaged. I can just do it like that, and when I'm ready to fire, and it goes. Made a bit of a hammer that, sorry. So there's the difference in mags. So obviously this will not. It goes in, but it doesn't stop. So obviously with no mag release here, it won't engage. If you were curious as to size difference between the EMF and this new one is, well, so if you put the stock at the back, I mean with the rain cover here, pretty much the same size actually. The only difference is one is far easier to get into than the other. You will notice that hopper space goes there, no hopper space here. Reason for this being that this is purely Magfed, what we've always wanted. So yeah, to look at initially out of the box, really nice and basic. True air through stock. You know, it's honestly, I'm not the biggest stock man in the Magfed world, mainly because I've been, you know, brought up a speedball gun, so I hold the marker very specifically close to myself. But playing with it, felt comfortable. It's a lot steadier with the stock. A lot of people that are going to get their hands on this are going to change this and this, maybe not this and this, depending on how authentic you like your AR custom builds to look. But I mean the modularity of being able to replace this and this rather, you know, it's is anybody's going to look the same? I'm not sure they are. And it's not going to take long for people to start really customizing them. I can't wait to get my hands on this. I don't think I'm going to be able to rust it because I think that may cause problems. But oh, it happens. Not only now have I noticed that there's a QD sling mount right here, as well as more on the hand guard. I'm not entirely sure because I have my sling attachment here, which obviously you buy separately, but looking into it, turns out there's actually 10 sling mounts with the stock attached, so plenty of options. I've never been one to adjust triggers, always because I've been a little bit scared of it. Honestly, the trigger feels nice. I mean, it feels light out of the box. Obviously, you know, this is First Strike compatible out of the box. It's here in the UK we're a bit funny on First Strikes. I know a lot of other places in the world are too, but it's nice to have the addition of First Strikes and with the mags that are compatible with First Strikes straight out of the box. That would be a deal breaker for me, honestly, not having the ability to fire First Strikes. Don't get me wrong, when I had my TMC, I never even thought about First Strikes, but once you fire them and you realize how good they are, it's hard to go back. And yeah, it's, you know, I'll show you quickly now. Say if you're on the field and you wanted to just access your, not on the field, you're not going to do this on the field realistically, but you know, that's how quick you can access the bolt. That quick. If you've got an EMF already and you've seen all these custom builds online and you think, oh, I want a piece of that, you know, companies that have made metal alloy uppers for the EMF as well. This is basically catered for all that in one marker. Who would this be aimed at? I mean, honestly, if a lot of complaints I see from a lot of Magfed players is that they're limited for choice in terms of kind of milsim realistic looks. This absolutely fits that bill. You know, I mean, can it look closer to a real thing than what it is now? Probably not. If I was to compare this to something like the T15 or the 468s, you know, you've got Planet's class leading pops and regulated designs. You know, the internals of this are just, they just don't break. They just work all the time. Not to sound like a fanboy, but they really do. And it's hard to deny that, you know, you're going to be getting such a good performance out of this. And while it looks like this, I think what this is going to appeal to rather, is a lot of airsofters. I think if I end up attending any more airsoft games this year, I would definitely take this with me. Not to use the airsoft game, but just to kind of demonstrate how far Magfed has come and how reliable it's going to get.
And there you have it. Gameplay, chronograph, breakdown on the marker. It is what it is. I've only had my hands on it for a little while now. I've only had the pleasure of playing one walk-on with it, which I had to tape it up just to keep the illusion safe of what I was using. Gripes. There's always going to be gripes with every marker. With EMF100, the EMC kit, always a bugger to get into. However, it was nice and light in retrospect of that. This marker, obviously, I'm very used to not having a stock here. So aiming with said marker, it took a little bit of getting used to when I was playing. Within a couple of games, it was feeling more confident. It was another thing which being someone who doesn't use stocks very often, having the stock does make it a lot more stable. It makes it easier on the arm because a lot of the, you know, just the weight and the force of the marker are back here, not the front. Whereas, you know, without the stock, if you can imagine, you know, speedballers tend to hold the marker like this. Initially, that was a gripe. Now, not so much. I'm certainly getting used to it. Magazines feel great. Obviously, this is only a preview. I've added my own attachments to suit myself. I really, really look forward to playing with it for the rest of the year and see how I get on. So yeah, EMF200, my little preview. See what you think.